This is Real Relationships on JewishCoffeehouse.com. I'm Micki Lavin-Pell, marriage therapist and relationship coach.
I'm Molly Livingstone, the patient and devil's advocate. And if you have comments, questions, you want to write us, be on the show, please do at realrelationships@jewishcoffeehouse.com. On today's episode, we're going to talk about
Flirting.
I like that. Are we going to flirt when we talk about it?
Oh, absolutely. That's the best.
See, because I flirt all the time and I don't know that I'm doing it. So what are the points we're going to talk about in this episode?
We're going to talk about what is it, why do we do it, and why do we stop doing it when we're in a long-term relationship. And I'm going to give you some tips on how to keep it going.
And I'm going to have paper and pen ready so that I remember. Okay, so go.
Good for you. Okay, so what is flirting?
What is flirting? Tell me everything.
Well, you're the expert flirter. Why don't you talk about it?
I mean, I think flirting is being playful, banter. It can definitely use body language. I'm saying this as a married woman that I think that I am just an outgoing person. I'll be honest, I'm not even sure if I know when I'm flirting, and maybe there are people like that, and there are people that have to learn how to flirt. So what is it from then your side of it?
So basically, I mean, flirting is the idea of flirting. I mean, there is a purpose to flirting, and that is that we want to rope somebody in. We want to let someone know that we feel attracted to them.
How dare you? Yeah.
And we do that with our eyes, with our body language. We move in a little bit more. We look at them deep in the eye. Some of us might stroke the other person's hair.
She's stroking, my hair.
Or touch their arm.
Okay.
Or comment on what a nice shirt they're wearing. Or how beautiful their eyes are. Or what a lovely smile they have. Those are all different things that we might do when we're flirting. We're showing interest, but in a superficial way.
The British would say cheeky.
Being cheeky? I don't know if they would say that. Would they say cheeky?
I'm half British and I said
yeah, you do. You are. Right. No, I'm just married to a Brit, so I feel like I should know. But maybe he's not such a big flirt.
Well, this is the thing, and we're going to talk about this later, is like you get to a point in your marriage, you're like, what? How did we flirt? Do we flirt? We definitely don't flirt. So I don't want to skip ahead.
Yeah.
We're still talking about the what is flirting.
What is flirting? So yeah, what is flirting? Flirting is just that thing that we do when we want to really get someone to know that we like them.
Okay.
And sometimes we do it when we don't really like someone, but we just want to play around with them, which is really not so nice. It's really not so nice, but sometimes it's just a bit of an ego thing that people do where they just kind of meet someone and they think, oh, they look kind of cute. Oh, I'll just, maybe see if I could get someone interested in me. And people do this, really. People who maybe need a bit of an ego boost or don't have such a strong sense of self, or they don't maybe really want to be in a relationship, but they like the idea of people being interested in them.
I'll tell you, I think there's a lot more flirting nowadays because people are texting more, and I think you have to be very playful in your texts because it is like almost a game.
Yes.
What are they going to say? Even your profile has to be fun and flirtatious to rope them in, as you said.
Right.
So I do think there is that part of it. Then there's the part where you're like in a bar and you're trying to like meet somebody there too, so you want to be playful, whether or not you're serious or not. I've played a wing woman to my single friends, and you definitely have to be playful. That's my whole role, is to help her bring in the guys, but then give them to her.
Right.
So you definitely, I am trying to rope someone in, not necessarily for myself. But
right.
These are all kind of convoluted relationships, aren't they?
Right, they are. It's very, very complicated. And you really need to think about, whether you want to flirt with somebody because you actually you want them for yourself, or whether you want them for a friend. I remember once, I was actually at a concert once, and I was sitting next to a single friend of mine on my left, and there was this handsome-looking man on my right by himself, and I thought, oh, wow, they might actually hit it off. And I decided to start flirting with the guy next to me. Not really flirting, but kind of like flirting on behalf of my friend. And I said, hey, are you married? And he said, yes. And I was like, crap. That was a waste. Why didn't you tell me that at the beginning?
Well, because he was probably still flirting back, because I think people still do it. I don't think it means we'll have this like ethical debate of like flirting if you're in a relationship or not. But go to your next point before I get myself in trouble.
Okay. Right. We talked a little bit about why we flirt, right? We want to rope somebody in, right? Why do we stop doing it? Once we're in a relationship with somebody, why don't we keep on flirting with them? Why don't we?
Right. I mean, it's this whole thing of the spark.
Right.
You start dating someone, you got them in, and now we're sort of like fast forward into serious relationship, and you're paying bills, you're walking dogs, you're having children of it. If you want to get married, whatever it is, the flirting and the fun sort of seep out.
Right.
And you're not as playful. Why? And how can you change it? Give us hope.
So the thing is, if you think about flirting as the thing that you do in order to rope somebody in, then once you have that person in the bag, so to speak, for lack of a better expression, I think people stop doing it because they feel that they did it in order to fulfill their goal. Mm-hmm. And now that goal is gone because they've done it. They've sealed the deal. They're in a relationship with them. They don't have to do it anymore. But the thing is, we always need to do it because we always need to keep our partner interested in us, because in this day and age with ADD and there's so much out there that's drawing our attention, sometimes it's really hard to keep the interest of our partner.
Yeah, right? I mean, we did a date night, my husband and I remember this very well. We were eating ice cream, and I'm looking into his eyes, and I'm trying to, keep it up, have some fun. I said, "What are you thinking about?" And he looked at me and he said, "I'm thinking if you'll let me take a bite of your ice cream." It's just so ridiculous. Like, he's not thinking about me. He's not being playful. I think that when we started dating, he would have never said something like that. He was literally Homer Simpson envisioning the donut, not envisioning his wife on this fun date. So I want us to still have that fun. And it's not just about having the date night, which people talk about all the time, but what makes that date night fun anymore?
Right. So definitely not talking about serious things like taxes, the kids, your jobs, and just really being able to focus on just something fun that's completely outside of your real life. Focus out on a movie that you'd like to see, or some fun thing that you'd like to do, or something that doesn't have a serious quality to it. And really being able to really look at the other person in the eye. Make sure your iPhone is not on. You're not looking through your messages. You're not looking at all the serious stuff. And you're just focusing on just being with the other person and just experiencing that and really remembering what it was like to just be dating them again.
And how important is it to keep flirting for the relationship? Relationship coach, expert, Micki.
Well, you know the answer to that, Molly.
I mean, it seems obvious that you're going to always need it.
Yeah. I mean, if you want things to stay interesting. Because otherwise, things really do fizzle.
Yeah.
And people forget, what the heck? Why did I ever like this person? What did we ever have together? Why did I choose this person? I know they were interesting once. I thought they were attractive once. But now I'm kind of like, I don't really know why I'm with this person. Because we're talking about really serious stuff like the kids, the dog, the yard, all that sort of important stuff that we need to take care of. And now that stuff has taken over and the fun stuff has just completely died. And that's unfortunately when things get too serious,
right?
That's when people sometimes start to look elsewhere.
If I could put it into a financial perspective, it's like when you want to make an investment, so that's your serious money, but you always want to have that play money too, that just let's go be ridiculous and gamble or buy something we shouldn't, something like that. That's exactly. The flirting in the relationship.
That's always a great analogy.
Right? It's fun. Yeah. Always with the money, this one, the Jew.
Always.
If you have comments, questions, concerns, you want to write us, you want to be on the show, please do at realrelationships@jewishcoffeehouse.com. This is Molly Livingstone.
And Micki Lavin-Pell.
And you've been listening to another episode of Real Relationships.